evacuations are underway this morning as a dangerous situation continues in our state. Thousands of firefighters from across the country are working around the clock. They're working against dozens of wildfires in the southeast, including 15 right here in the North Carolina mountains. Combined, they've already burned more than 100,000 acres. And in our state, one of the fires affecting the most people is the one that's near Lake Lure. CBS North Carolina's Amy Cutler is on the ground there with a look at the efforts being made to contain it.
Firefighters continue working round the clock this morning, but despite their best efforts, this fire is only 19% contained. Now, we just received an update from the Forest Service, and they tell us that the Party Rock fire has burned some 4,400 acres. But they tell us the fire is actually bigger than that and that it continues to move. We got a closer look at the fire Tuesday afternoon. The Fire Service taking us into Chimney Rock and Bat Cave. There are mandatory evacuations in both of those areas. Fortunately, the fire is slow moving, giving these firefighters a chance to clear leaves and other debris from around nearby homes. That gives them a chance to try and save those homes. Now, to give you an idea of the scope of this effort, there are about 450 firefighters from more than 100 different agencies here working. One volunteer firefighter on the front lines explaining the challenges.
When you're in the mountains, sometimes it's really unpredictable how these winds are going to roll through the different areas, the valleys and the draws that we have in the mountains. So that's where we have to rely on the Forest Service to give us some expertise to look ahead to try to be prepared.
Speaking of those firefighters, many of these guys are volunteers, and they have come up from all across the state and country. We've seen firefighters from as far away as Alaska and California. We're going to continue to monitor their situations here, and we will have a live report coming up at noon. In Lake Lure, I'm Amy Cutler, CBS North Carolina.
All right, Amy, thank you. Well, many firefighters worked overnight, and as the sun rises, crews will get a new assessment of those fires.
Joining us on the phone right now with the latest information is North Carolina Forest Service Public Information Officer Brian Haynes. Brian, good morning. Thank you for your time.
Good morning. Thank you.
Okay, so let's start off with, how many fires, how many acres are currently burning, and what's the department's biggest concern right now?
Well, there's across western North Carolina is about a little more than 46,000 acres that are burning, and probably close to 20 different fires. So, of course, our biggest concern is the drought right now. Being as dry as it is, it's causing us a lot of issues. No rain, so of course everything is just burning even through the night. Usually we get some humidity in the evening time overnight, and that helps to lay the fire down. But we're not even seeing those humidities at night, so the fire is just burning up through the night, and that's causing us a lot of problems.
So what's the latest on evacuations there now?
Well, Party Rock is some folks have been able to go home and get back into their houses. But, of course, as the fire progresses, other people are having to evacuate. And that's pushing a little bit towards, I think, Bat Cave in that area there.
And, Brian, we just saw some video, our viewers just did, of crews out there. It looked like they were sweeping leaves to the side. Of course, we know that those falling leaves are, of course, fuel to the wildfires. So can you explain some of the other challenges for crews battling the fires from the ground?
Sure, and of course, structure protection and protecting people's property is one of our key concerns. And so, keeping the fire out of people's yards and stuff like that is of utmost importance. And what we're seeing is firefighters are actually waiting for the fire to come up roads and to come close to homes, and really just letting it burn out those fuels so that we don't have a problem with a reburn in those areas, and then trying to squash it with water or however they. Kind of just letting those things burn out. But at homes, just trying to keep people don't always know what Firewise is, and that's just clearing those fuels away from people's houses. I think you had mentioned earlier, clearing out the leaves, firewood, anything that they can away from the house that may be flammable.
And that's stuff you can do all year round as well. Brian, thank you so much for being with us this morning and getting up early. We really appreciate your time, and so do all the folks who are watching and listening this morning.
Brian.